Have you ever met someone who seemed too good to be true? Charming, confident, strategic. They know exactly what to say, how to say it, and they always seem 10 steps ahead. But over time, the cracks start to show. The manipulation, the gaslighting, the emotional detachment. You start to realize they're not just difficult, they're dangerous. This is the world of the Dark Triad, a trio of personality traits that can turn ordinary people into emotional predators. Today, we're going deep into the psychology of narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. Not just what they are, but how to spot them, how to protect yourself, and how some of the most powerful people in the world use these traits to win. The term Dark Triad comes from psychology, and it refers to 3 personality traits that are socially toxic, but extremely powerful when combined. Narcissism, an inflated ego, a hunger for admiration, and deep fear of inadequacy. Machiavellianism, cold, strategic manipulation, often masked by fake charm. Psychopathy, a lack of empathy, guilt, or emotional depth, combined with impulsivity. Individually, these traits can be harmful. But when someone scores high in all 3, you're dealing with a master manipulator. Someone who plays people like chess pieces and sleeps soundly after betraying them. What's scary is that these people don't always wear a mask. Sometimes they wear a suit or a smile. Let's start with narcissism. Narcissists are addicted to admiration. They live for praise, status, and validation. But underneath the confidence, they're fragile, insecure, terrified of being exposed as ordinary. Here are some classic narcissistic behaviors. They dominate conversations, not to listen but to be seen. They take credit for others' work. They manipulate your perception, praising you one moment, belittling you the next. They can't handle criticism. Even mild feedback feels like a personal attack. A narcissist needs control over the narrative, over people's opinions, and over you. They'll charm you until you're hooked, then turn cold if you stop feeding their ego. Ever been in a relationship where someone made you question your memory, twisted your words, or acted like you're the problem? That's not forgetfulness, that's gaslighting, a favorite tool of the narcissist. Next, we have Machiavellianism. These people are not impulsive. They don't act out of emotion. They calculate. They see relationships as transactions, people as tools, morality optional. A Machiavellian will study your emotions to exploit them later, say the right things to build trust, then use that trust as leverage. Play the long game. They might even lose a battle just to win the war. They don't lash out, they orchestrate quietly, coldly. You won't even realize you're being played until you're already in checkmate. Ever worked for a boss who seemed supportive, then used your words against you months later? Or been in a friendship where every favor came with a hidden debt? That's not kindness, it's currency. And finally, psychopathy. Psychopaths are emotionally detached. They feel no guilt, no remorse. They can mimic emotions, but they don't experience them the way you or I do. They're often thrill seekers, drawn to risk, danger, and chaos. But don't confuse psychopathy with low intelligence. Many psychopaths are highly strategic, charismatic, skilled at blending in. You'll find them in politics, law, finance, high-stakes business, places where cold decision-making is rewarded. They can seem fearless, but their lack of empathy makes them ruthless. A psychopath doesn't care if they hurt you. They only care if it costs them. And if it doesn't, they'll do it again. Now, here's where it gets terrifying. Most people have some traits from one of the three. That's normal. But when someone scores high in all three, you're dealing with someone who thinks they're superior, narcissism, manipulates everyone around them, Machiavellianism, and doesn't feel bad about it, psychopathy. This combination creates a psychological weapon, someone who can lie, cheat, manipulate, and destroy, all with a smile. You'll find these people leading cults, running toxic companies, starting global conflicts, or quietly ruining lives behind closed doors. So how do you protect yourself? Here are red flags to watch for. They love bomb you early. Too much praise too soon. They shift blame. It's never their fault. They study your weaknesses, not to help, but to use. They charm everyone around you, making it harder to believe you if you speak out. And the biggest sign, you feel drained, confused, anxious, like you're constantly trying to prove yourself or earn their approval. Healthy relationships don't do that. Dark Triad dynamics do. Trust your gut. If someone makes you question your reality, it's time to step back. The Dark Triad isn't fiction. It's not just a psychology buzzword. It's real, and it's all around us. But here's the good news. The more you understand it, the less power it has over you. Knowledge is protection. Awareness is armor. And when you know what to look for, you stop being a pawn in someone else's game. So stay sharp, watch for the signs, and above all, never ignore the feeling that something just isn't right. Because in a world full of actors, those who see behind the mask win.